Some of you may know that I already made a World Cup predictions video back in either June or July when the group draws officially came out. But I'm making this new predictions video because a decent amount has changed since then in terms of key players being injured, and I believe all of the nations have selected their squads officially, and some big names have been left out of some squads. So with this new information, we're going to be redoing our predictions. So I'm going to start by opening up our trusty notebook here to a fresh page, and we will write out all of the groups. And after I write out the groups, I'll go over some of the key players who will not be participating in this World Cup, unfortunately. And then I will make my predictions. I already have it bookmarked to a fresh page here. There we go. So, if you're unaware, the World Cup, there are 8 groups. Each group has 4 teams from countries across the world who have made the World Cup through one form of qualifying or another. Then, based on those teams' rankings, they're put into different pots, and the teams are drawn from different pots to make the groups as fair as possible. As even as possible, I should say. Starting in Group A, we have the hosts Qatar, who qualified for their first World Cup, qualified just by being the host of the tournament. A lot of question marks and protests surrounding how they got this World Cup, but we won't talk about that in this video. Next is Ecuador. Then we have Senegal. And finally, the Netherlands to round out Group A. Group B. England, Iran, the United States of America, and Wales. Group C. Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. Group D. France, Australia, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. Group F, we have Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. Group G is Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. And last but not least is Group H, which is Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. So those are our 8 groups for the World Cup this year. A couple notable teams missing. Italy, of course, the Euro winners of 2020 did not qualify for the World Cup, unfortunately, so a lot of good players from Italy will not be participating. Norway also not involved, so Erling Haaland will not be playing in the World Cup, unfortunately. Probably the best goal scorer in the world right now. Him and also Odegaard will not be participating. Sweden did not qualify for the World Cup. And Austria, also a pretty big team, did not make the World Cup this time around. There are also some big injuries on teams that did qualify for the World Cup. Paul Pogba of France will not be participating due to injury, as well as his teammate N'Golo Kante. A big piece of that France squad will be missing the World Cup, unfortunately. Timo Werner, striker from Germany, is missing the World Cup due to injury. Reece James, a defender from England, will also not be participating due to injury. Diogo Jota of Portugal is missing the World Cup, as well as Pedro Neto of Portugal. Ben Chilwell, another defender from England, also missing out due to injury. Prinzel Kimpembe, also of France, missing out due to injury. And Marco Reus, also missing out for Germany due to injury. There are also some players who will be questionable. They've been named in their squads, but has sustained injuries recently and might not be fully fit to play. One of those is Sadio Mane from Senegal. That would be a big loss for that team if he is unable to play. Paulo Dybala from Argentina, also questionable to play. As well as Son Heung-min. He is going to the World Cup, but recently had face Achilles surgery. So we'll see if he is fit enough to play for South Korea. So quite a few big names. Oh, and also Sergio Ramos of Spain, the center back, the superstar center back, not named in the squad. Unfortunate that he is not able to have a last run at a World Cup before he retires. So a lot of big notable names might not be participating or are not participating this year, which is pretty unfortunate. This year differs, of course. The World Cup has to be played in late November rather than the summertime due to the extreme heat that would be in Qatar in the summer. So, league games and everything are going on a month or so before the World Cup this year, which does not normally happen. So a lot more injuries have been picked up to key players, which is just unfortunate. Anyway, we're going to start with our group predictions. I have this blue Sharpie to indicate the winner of the group. Yellow Sharpie to indicate the runner-up. And pink to eliminate, to mark the two teams I think will be eliminated. So if you're unaware, from each group, they all play one game against each other. A win is 3 points, a draw is 1 point for each team, and a loss is 0 points. And the team that has the most points wins the group. The team with the second most points obviously finishes as runner-up, but also it advances, so the top two teams from each group will advance, and then the bottom two teams are eliminated. Starting with Group A, I believe Qatar will be eliminated in the group in their first World Cup. And then also Ecuador. Big news if Mane can't play for Senegal. Ecuador might have a chance to finish above them if he is absent for all 3 games. But as of now, I think Senegal still sneak through in second place in the group. Which means the Netherlands I have in first. Next is Group B, which should be a very interesting group. England have not been in great form, and they're missing 2 key defenders in Reece James and Ben Chilwell. And the other 3 teams, honestly, are all pretty similar. I would say, talent-wise, England being the best team talent-wise in this group. Just not in great form. Being from the USA, I know I picked them to go through last time. I was definitely picking with my heart last time. I think I'm going to pick more with my head here. And I think the USA, unfortunately, are eliminated in the group stage. Their form has been terrible. I don't like Berhalter as a coach, as a tactician, anything of the sort. I think the USA, unfortunately, go out in the group stage. And joining them, I'm going to choose Wales, actually. I'm going to have Iran making a surprise run to the knockouts. Wales, they're a good defending team. They don't really score a whole lot. They didn't do too well in their qualifying group, although they did squeak out a qualification, obviously. And I think I think Iran can beat one of USA or Wales and then maybe draw the other, and I think that might be enough to get them through. So, and then at the top, I'm still going to go with England. Honestly, there's so many scenarios with this group that I think could happen. It's hard to predict this one. I could see any of these teams topping the group and any of these teams bottoming the group. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Definitely stressful as a American supporter. Next is Group C. Saudi Arabia, I think, is a pretty common pick to leave in the group stage. And then Mexico versus Poland is an interesting one. I think I'm going to eliminate Mexico here. And advance Poland in second place. Which of course leaves Argentina at the top of the group. Definitely the favorites to win that group. Next we have Group D. Tunisia and Australia. Unfortunately leaving in the group stage. And then I have France coming in second, which may be a bit of a surprise to some people, but given their injuries to Kante and Pogba, Kimpembe, they still have loads of talent, but I think especially Kante is a big loss in that midfield. And I'm going to take Denmark to win the group. Denmark has beaten France the last 2 times they played them. And I think they're a pretty good squad. I think they're a good sleeper for this tournament. If you watched my last prediction World Cup video, you know that I'm pretty high on Denmark for this World Cup. So I think they win the group here. Group E. Costa Rica and Japan eliminated in the group stage, although I do think Japan could make things pretty interesting in this group. And then the second place and winner of the group, I think, is a toss-up here. Spain and Germany, obviously very great squads. Very storied national teams. I'm going to take Spain in second. And Germany first. Germany will miss Timo Werner in this World Cup, but I still think they're able to win the group here and bounce back after being eliminated in the group stage 4 years ago. Group F. Oops, wrong color there. Almost Canada, almost. I believe Canada and Morocco are the easy choices to leave in the group. And then in second place, I'm going to pick Belgium. I'm usually very high on Belgium in the World Cups with their golden generation, but they're getting older now and they always let me down when I predict them to win, so I'm putting them second. see this group getting a little dicey for them. I don't know, Switzerland are a pretty tough team. If they somehow squeak out a win versus Brazil, this could get a little dicey for them. But they should have it. And finally, Group H. Ghana and South Korea eliminated in the groups. Especially if Son Heung-min can't go for South Korea, then I think they'll definitely leave in the groups. Second place, I'm putting Portugal. They're missing a few key players, and Ronaldo isn't really in form right now. He's hardly even playing for Man United, although that could leave him with a chip on his shoulder and something to prove, so I guess we'll see how that plays out. But I really like this Uruguay squad. Valverde is very in form right now for Real Madrid. Bentancur for Tottenham is also very in form. And they have quality players all around the pitch, so I'm going to take Uruguay to win Group H. So moving on from that, we then go to the bracket, the knockout stage bracket, which I have already drawn out here. So your group and where you finish in your group is what determines where you land in this knockout stage bracket. As you can see, I wrote down which teams go where. So 1A is the winner of Group A, and 2B is the runner-up of Group B, and so on and so forth. So for 1A, we have the Netherlands, and then 2B was Iran. 1C, we had Argentina, and 2D was France. So a heavyweight clash right there, a repeat of, I believe, the semifinals 4 years ago, which was a great game. It would be pretty crazy to see that already in this first knockout round. 1E was Germany, and 2F was Belgium, another pretty heavyweight clash there. 1G, Brazil, versus 2H, Portugal. Moving to the bottom half of the bracket, we have 1B versus 2A, which is England versus Senegal. Then we have 1D versus 2C. That would be Denmark versus Poland. 1F versus 2E. That's Croatia versus Spain. And last but not least, we have 1H versus 2G, which is Uruguay versus Switzerland. Oops, I'll use this yellow highlighter to mark the winner of the games. Starting with Netherlands, Iran. I'm picking the Netherlands to advance here. Next is Germany versus Belgium. This is a tough one for me, but I'm going to go with Belgium. And then we have Brazil, Portugal. Unfortunately, Ronaldo's run ends here, and I think Brazil advance. Moving to the bottom, we have England, Senegal. I'm going to take England in that one. Denmark, Poland. I think Denmark would win this pretty easily. Just an all-around better squad than Poland. Croatia versus Spain is an interesting one. I'm going to take Spain here to beat Croatia. And then Uruguay, Switzerland also I think would be a very good matchup. I'm going to go with Uruguay here. Maybe a little fairy tale run for Luis Suarez in his potentially last World Cup. Back to the top, we have Netherlands, Argentina. I'm going with Argentina. Then we have Belgium versus Brazil. I believe Belgium knocked Brazil out of the last World Cup. But just for the sake of a good story, I'm putting Argentina up versus Brazil. They're CONMEBOL rivals here, the best two teams in CONMEBOL. Both went undefeated in qualifying, drawing each other twice. So set them up for a heavyweight clash in the semifinals there. On the bottom we have England, Denmark. Football is not coming home this year. I'm taking Denmark, again, my dark horse team, to beat England and go to the semifinals. And there they will meet Uruguay. Just realized I put 3 South American teams in the semifinals. You never know, anything can happen. This, I think, would be a great game, Argentina-Brazil. I'm going to give the upper hand to Argentina. They're still undefeated in, I believe, 30 plus games. They have a pretty incredible run of form going on now, and I think Messi will will them to the World Cup final here. Then we have Denmark and Uruguay. I'm taking Denmark here to reach the finals. Very underrated team for me, I think, and they get a pretty easy path in this bracket, so I think they take it all the way to the finals. So we're left with Denmark and Argentina in the finals here. And I'm going with the fairy tale story of Lionel Messi winning in what could be his final World Cup, taking home the trophy finally for Argentina, capping off an incredible career for him. And then in the third place game, I would take Brazil over Uruguay. So yeah, there you have it. Those are my new World Cup predictions. Some of it is the same, some has changed due to the new injuries and all of that. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with, who you think will win, and who you think the biggest surprise of the tournament will be. Mine obviously being Denmark, having them going all the way to the finals. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you enjoy the World Cup. I'm super excited for it. Yeah, and I will see you next time.